Girl, don't touch my chains. It's expensive.
For me.
Oh, no, sorry. But, yeah, sorry, I didn't want to shift the mood like that. But, yeah, that's all I got to say on that one, period. Got to let them know, Beck. Not the one, not the two.
Did you see my sign? Free speech isn't free.
Sorry.
Anyway.
We're good. We're good.
Okay.
Asia, you've said that this season is different than, the other times you guys have made it to the finals. Another elimination game where you have to go down to the wire to figure it out. What have you learned about this team in clutch games and being able to execute down the stretch?
I think I learned that every game, every possession that we play, it gets us ready for the next. And I honestly think that streak that we went on prepared us for moments like this, how to fight through the highs and the lows of the game. We all know basketball is a game of runs, and it allows us to never take our foot off the gas. And when we do, we have to all be together collectively, uplift each other to then floor it. And I think that's what you saw today when we kind of went into overtime. It was just a switch just went off into our minds like, no, this is the time. This is what we've worked so hard to get to. So I think that's kind of what I saw with this team of just buckling down.
Coach, talk about the execution down the stretch and how you were able to.
She can't see you.
Here we go.
Here, for rating, not for distance.
The defensive attention, Odyssey Sims was off the chain, and additionally, reflecting now on the win streak, it did make home court advantage in the WNBA finals possible. How does that feel? Great. I mean, they really, with the work that they put in and the really on the defensive end too, those guys just coming together late in the season, putting that run together, put us in this position. So got to give a lot of credit to the players. I mean, they're the ones out there doing the work. And, A was Coach Wilson for a good part of that. And, this is the scenario you want. Home court throughout. And should be fun. I'm excited. And we might be able to, get our fans to come back for a little more basketball.
We'll go with Josh and then Mark.
Coach, can you talk about Meg's impact on this series?
Yeah, Meg, she's just a big that I know enjoys contact.
It's going to find her.
So going into this, as well as her ability to obviously space the floor, teams that really like to load up on A, I thought they had a kind of a different, they switched up their game plans in their adjustments and stuff as the series went on. I thought early on in the series they were trying to limit our ball movement a lot, limiting threes. I think they went back to just really defending the paint, which brings a lot of congestion for A. So putting Megan out there, they can't cheat like that as much with the space floor on her. So big minutes, as well as, she at times can go in there and take a beating from Boston. So it takes a little off A's plate too, as Liz does. We have to try to find little breaks for A in there because she's doing so many other things, and it's just brutal. It's just a brutally physical game down there. And so Meg is one of those people that I know that will come in and take a couple hits for A.
Sure. Yes, she will.
And hit some shots.
Yeah, do you think about the history that you can make coming up in the series?
What history?
Three titles in 4 years.
Oh, I haven't even thought about it. We're trying to make it through a quarter at a time, okay?
You saying history? I'm like,
where? Look, we have a special group here. I wish. I'm not surprised that we're here because I know who they are. I know how they're built. I know most times when I'm pissed off, they're pissed off too. They get upset about the right things, and there's something to be said about that. Being upset is okay, but be upset about the right things, because too often players get upset about the wrong things. And this team, and I'll speak to just the health of our bench, having no cancers on our bench, even though it's hard to sit there and cheer and watch and stay engaged. I mean, I just chucked Kia out there with 20 seconds left and knowing full well she's going to be dependable on the defensive end. That's really hard to do, staying locked in like that.
Thanks.
And just keep pouring into the people that are playing and giving. Cheyenne's great. I mean, you could go down the whole group. I'm very honored to be their coach. I know I'm on their butts, but I'm very honored to be their coach.
Standing in the back.
This one's for Becky, kind of quickly. It's still fresh, still new going to the WNBA finals. Just quick thoughts on the Phoenix Mercury. It's a team you guys know very well.
Yeah. We have to learn from this game, but they play completely different than this team. So I'd really like to take a second to congratulate Indiana. They would not go away. They just would not go away. The resiliency of her group, I mean, they went through a lot of adversity this year. And for Steph to keep everybody on board and prayers up for Kelsey. I don't know her situation, but nobody wants to see anybody carried off the court like that ever. So just hats off to them. I thought they did an unbelievable job all the way around. Their roster, their coaching staff, they just gas pedaled the whole time, and it was tough for us. Looking at Phoenix, this group has Kelsey Mitchell and Odyssey Sims, and now you're looking at Satu and Ka, very different. So I'll be diving into them tonight, and we just got to move on. We play again in 2 days. It's a really quick turnaround, so I know they'll be locked in, ready to go, but I need to give them a night off of not thinking in the morning. But at 12:30, I need you thinking again.
Business, yeah.
We'll go Kevin and Hallie.
To the history point, you've been.
Can I get some questions? Because I got to take my dad to the airport. Not trying to rush nobody.
Yeah, you can answer this one, Asia, because you alluded to it on the court. Does being in this position feel a little different because of everything you went through this season, because of being below 500?
Absolutely. When you've been in the trenches and you really don't know what's the problem or you don't know what's wrong and you're trying to figure out answers, and we have every beginning of every season, we always write out our goals, and everybody's goal is to win a championship. That's everybody. But to get there, the road, we weren't expecting it to look like what it is. And it's never going to look like what it's going to be like from the past. And so this one it feels different. Obviously, we're not complacent. It's not we're happy to be here because we worked our butts off to get here. But it does definitely feel a lot different than the ones before, only because we went through the mud for this one. And like Coach always said, we weren't necessarily buried. We were planted. And we sometimes had to let the soil kind of get moisture, and then we had to grow, and now we're still growing.
God bless the broken road that led me back to you. That's a line.
Oh, period.
Because our road has been broken over here. It's been a twisty, windy one.
It's been ugly.
But here we are.
What for Asia? What did it mean to kind of see almost like a vintage Chelsea Gray? In overtime, she had a majority of the team's points in that extra period.
It's a blessing to play alongside Chelsea Gray. The way that I saw the look in her eyes after we lost in Indiana, I knew the Chelsea Gray that we were going to get this game. This is the moments. These are experiences she's been through time after time after time, and she shows up. And it wasn't a doubt in my mind that she was going to get rocking and rolling. And we love when she does that. And for her to be able to still see the floor and get people open and still get her own, that's a blessing when you're talking about a point guard. So it was a lot of fun watching vintage Chelsea out there.
Yes. Sorry. It's a two-parter, so the first one is for Asia. I guess my question, I almost kind of forgot it really quick, but you're all good. But in terms of not which series was harder or anything like that, in terms of like actual gameplay, but emotional-wise, do you feel like this one was more of probably the most emotionally drained series that you've been through in your career?
Yes, only because it felt like the losses were self-inflicted. It felt like we had control over it and we just did not show up. And those hurt more so than just like dang, they just hit more shots than us. And so I think emotionally it was tough only because, like, you feel it. Like, when you know you could be better, that's the worst type, and you lose, that's the worst type of feeling you can have. That kind of like sense of regret, and like, dang, I wish I could give more. And so I think, yeah, it was super draining. But at the same time, I feel like we came together more than ever this series that I've ever been in postseason with any team under Becky. We really, really, really came together. And you kind of see it. Hopefully you guys can see it when we play. It's like we always try to just pick each other up, and it starts for me, and then it just kind of goes down.
See you.
Tell Roscoe deuces. Don't make Roscoe mad.
So that's why I was kind of fumbling over my words. I wanted to ask about that first half. The team looked just disheveled. That was the word that kind of came to mind. There was a lot of interacting with the refs. How much at halftime was the conversation just about keeping the main thing in order to get this win?
Well, we didn't keep the main thing at all. That was the problem. We know what our defensive, I don't know, I let into them at halftime because it was nothing of what we talked about. And luckily, we hit some shots tonight and scored 107 points, but it's not the way this team has traditionally won games. You know, when Kelsey went down, I felt we let up, and that's a mistake emotionally. And you know, like I said, they just wouldn't go away. They played their hearts out, but our defense has to get better. Our rebounding has to get better. Like, we have to learn from this series, and we have to get better quickly.
Becky, you've had to rely on Jackie, I think, a lot more this season, and she comes up with 30-10, no turnovers in an elimination game. I know you said a couple of years ago you can never really get mad at her. Has that changed in your relationship, or how do you feel about her today?
I'm never mad at Jackie. No, I mean, she has been astronomical for us, you know, not just scoring. Oh, speak of the lady. She's been astronomical for us, not just scoring, but distributing the ball, defending the toughest players. She is, 94 feet both ends, and it's tough. I ask a lot of her. I demand a lot out of her because I believe a lot in her. They just asked if I'm ever mad at you, and I said never.
Whatever she said.
No, but I mean, she takes such good care of the ball. Just big, strong. Like I said, I've already said I think she's best two-way guard in the league. I'm taking her every time.
I'd also do this as a two-parter, one for each of you. So Jackie and Asia tonight, first set of teammates ever in a playoff game, both with 30 points. So what did they do sort of to get you to overtime? And then Jackie, after, I'm curious, what did it show to have, everybody else kind of step up in overtime and start with the big shot making?
You're not starting? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it was a full team effort, on both sides of the ball. And, in overtime, I think, people made big shots, got big stops, offensive boards. And so, I mean, that's what it takes down the stretch. And, I'm proud of how we were able to just stick together as a team and get the win.
I mean, I think one of the best things that we did tonight, if I'm marking some things down, is just taking care of the ball. Only 8 turnovers. Last game they had 25 points off our turnovers. So that part was we were disruptive defensively in certain ways. Other ways we could still get better. But, once we got into overtime and we saw the ball going in a couple times, I thought, it changed the game. Chelsea's buzzer beater, I mean, that was a crazy shot. So, I don't know. Sometimes, in these moments down in this part of the year, like, players step up and make plays. And you saw it with Jack tonight. You saw it with Chelsea and Asia. And I will say this, too. Jewel with some game-winning, season-saving offensive rebounds that were getting us extra possessions was really important. But your studs got to be studs this time of year. and they were.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for Jackie? Going once.
Ooh, done?
I asked Asia about this, but to see Chelsea go down, it seemed like that kind of sparked a run for the team. How did that work for you guys just to watch her? Obviously, she came back and she was huge in overtime, but how did seeing her go down kind of rally the team?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, when somebody goes down, we know that we all just have to, step up a little bit more and just try to, pick up that part that we don't have, and I thought everybody did that. Jewel was huge for us with the O boards, just the hustle plays. And she's a vet. She's been in this league a really long time, and she's been in a lot of these moments. So I'm really proud of her. But like I said, I think it was a full team effort.
Standing in the back left corner.
Jackie, congrats on getting to this point in the season. I wanted to ask you about that last possession in regulation. Saw you hop to the sideline after you know that was a makeable shot. Was that what you wanted? Talk us through that.
Yeah, I was right there. Just blew it, smoked it, honestly. My teammates trust me in those situations. Unfortunately, the shot didn't fall. But I just have to have that confidence, to be able to attack in those moments. And then just try to make the right read, whether that's me scoring it or passing it to one of my teammates.
This will be your fourth trip to the finals. I'm just wondering what feels different about this year compared to the other ones.
Yeah, I think, just everything that we had to overcome this season. Being, 500, below 500, then going on the streak. And so it's just, it feels different. Everybody really bought into the process. We had to, sit down, have a talk, and figure out if this is really what we wanted, and I think, we did that. So I'm just proud of everyone for just being unselfish and trusting the process, buying into the process and to what Beck wants from us, and so, it takes a lot. We have a lot of stars on this team, a lot of great players, and so just being able to be unselfish and just making the right play. Coach talks a lot about good to great, and so you might have a good shot, swing it one more, your teammate has a great shot. And so I think once we got to playing that way and playing out of our defense, we were a completely different team.
Thank you. Jackie, it's early, but thoughts on Phoenix?
Yeah, obviously they're a great team. We've played them a few times this season. But yeah, looking forward to Friday.